moving on to the coaching search, that's still ongoing. I heard Chris Fedor say today that he thinks they could have a coach in place by the end of this week. He said, James Borrego, from what he's heard, still the leading candidate. That I also read that Atkinson maybe kind of has backed off, or they've backed off of him, one or the other. So it could be between Borrego. I know Mikanori did interview as well, and so did Dave Yorger, who was brought on as a consultant last year. But I've heard that he could end up the top assistant, which on the staff of whatever coach they choose, whether it be Borrego, Atkinson, Nori. But also heard Dan Gilbert could possibly be accumulating his own coaching list, which, like we said, he's done in the past. And the David Blatt and John Beeline hires were all Dan Gilbert's ideas. So, yeah, we could get a name come out of nowhere off Dan's list, and it's his team, so he has the final say.
Yeah, right.
I think we lost.
Pays a lot of money to have a say.
Yeah, definitely.
But Borrego seems to be the big name in Cleveland and LA. Everything seemed got quiet surrounding JJ Redick here. He was the hot button, when the coaching searches started out, but that seems to have kind of gone down. Dwayne Wade's pushing for Chris Quinn, former Cavalier. For what did you tell me? 10 games,
very short
7 games, something like that. But you found a picture, so the proof is out there. But yeah, I think you don't want to give so much to your star player, like for them to choose who's going to lead them. But in today's NBA, and for the NBA for the past 15 years or so, it's kind of happened one way or another. It's easier to get rid of a coach than it is to revamp a roster. So I know a lot of people have, brought up guys that have either played with Donovan or Coach Donovan out in Utah, or people that he's good with as potential candidates. But it'll be interesting to see who they land on. I would like to see them have a head coach in place before the draft. Like I said earlier, without a head coach and kind of their thumbprint on the team and rotations and offense that they want to run, defense they want to run, makes it difficult to see, which of these players would be the best fit for what the Cleveland Cavaliers are for 2024 and 2025 and beyond. And as a first round draft pick, you hope they're here for at least 3 or 4 years, and then either moved in a trade or, then you re-up them.
One thing that did come out this week that I want to get your guys' opinions on. It came out that Donovan Mitchell does not want Jared Allen traded. He loves him as a teammate and wants him here. So we all know Garland and Allen have been rumored, to be moved this whole offseason so far. So I find it a little interesting that he comes out and speaks on wanting Jared Allen to stay here, but hasn't said anything about Darius Garland. So what are your guys' thoughts on that? Go ahead, Clarence.
I thought the same thing. Like, okay, that's cool. He wants JA here, but he's not even going to say nothing about DG, which is another reason why I think that he's gone, honestly. But I guess to me, the bigger thing is he can say he wants Allen here, but he got to sign first. Like, he can't dictate what we're going to do if we don't even know if you're going to be here. I want him here, believe me. Yeah, I want Spider here without a doubt. But I think it's hard for them to say, all right, yeah, we'll do that. But and then he hasn't inked his name to any contract yet. So I like Jared Allen. I think he's an underrated part of the Cavs. I think they play much better when he's on the floor, even though, there was the lights too bright comment last year and all those things, but I feel like they're a better team when he plays. But again, that being said, I don't think that Spider can dictate this until he signs his name to the dotted line.
Derek, what do you think?
I think it kind of ties back into the comment about Mobley not wanting to be a center. And if Jared Allen's here, he kind of he isn't forced to play a position that he supposedly has no interest in playing, even though we mentioned earlier that a lot of the NBA is positionless, but someone's got to stand in the circle to jump. So I guess you still need a center, but yeah, you hear Kobe Altman pretty much say, we're going to run it back with a new coach, and then, Donovan makes this comment on Jared Allen, and it is a little interesting that he didn't kind of say, I want Jared and Darius back, but, maybe he thinks it's easier to switch in a different guard than it is a different big man, for what he wants to do kind of as the leader of the team. And, even if he isn't the point guard, there's a lot of times that he's leading the offense. He's initiating the offense, bringing the ball up the court. So maybe he'd like a off guard to be someone that maybe is a better shooter that, he can drive and kick to, and, it's going to be a 40% shooter and not someone that's closer to the 33% shooter from outside. But yeah, like Clarence said, until Donovan commits to us, I don't think that we should let him kind of be the puppeteer for Kobe Altman in the front office.
Well, that's what I was going to mention next, and James apparently must have read my mind because he's got a comment here. The Mitchell extension could come as soon as tomorrow if the Celtics win tonight. A coach might not take the job until he knows who's on the roster. Once again, I heard Chris Fedor say if the series ends tonight, we'll probably have Mitchell news tomorrow about him re-upping, and then maybe a few days later, the coach, they don't, there's an order of what they want that to happen. They want Mitchell to commit first, give that a couple days to marinate, and then, announce the coaching hire. So Celtics win tonight. I think we're going to hear a lot of news this week that we've been waiting to hear. Good news too. And then it's on to who we get rid of.
Are you guys falling for the smoke screen? They're saying they really want to keep this core four together. I'm not buying it.
No, I think one of Allen or Garland are going to be gone. I mean, you need a wing, a starting wing, and the only way to get one is to trade somebody.
Yep.
Because like you said, it's not coming in the draft. You're going to get a role player or a guy who's definitely not ready to play day one.
I think that it's, not giving up the leverage. If they come out and say, oh, these guys are on the block, we're, going to revamp the starting five, they lose any and all leverage that they would have had because, even the guys that have been in the league for a while, I think the NBA more than any of the other leagues, there's a lot of feelings, and once they feel like they've been betrayed, it's hard to rebuild bridges that have been burned in the NBA. At least in terms of trade rumors and things like that. But yeah, I think that one of the four, and I don't think it's Mobley because he's young and controllable. I don't think that it's Donovan because, he is the superstar out of the four. So that leaves Jared Allen, Darius Garland, and, it just depends on, are teams more likely to want a center or are they more likely to want a guard, and who you can get in return, and the best return, that guy's likely gone.